This is part 16 of What If Deku Had All for One. Here we go. The next few days, is happened day by day. For example, day after the one-on-ones with Immortal, Izuku gets an endurance quirk from his dad. Because Ajashi thought it would be a good idea to give him that quirk, and he also gave him solar panel. Because it can hook up to your food storage and make it so you have more endurance. And the day of the USJ arrives, and everyone is excited for this, because this is going to be rescue training. And many people joined the hero course to do rescue training and to help people. And they go through normal classes. Then they reach each hero day, and Eraserhead and Immortal are there, and Immortal says, "Okay, students, today is the we're going to the facility named the USJ. Now, I know many of your costumes have been changed, and over time, you'll get your costumes. So get your costumes or your school gym uniforms, whatever you prefer, because not all costumes are good for rescue work. So anyway, get your costumes and meet us to the vehicle. Go. And also, the day before they had the vote for school president, and the break-in on that same day. And Izuku is president, and Momo is vice president. Anyway, Ida tries to help because he's one of the people on the school administration, and it is open seating. And when everyone gets seated, it's going to be a bit, because it's going to be 30 minutes to get there. And Sue says, "Izuku, Midoriya-kun, Ribbit. Yes, sir, Asui? Call me Sue. Sue, yeah. I tend to be blunt when I say things, but how are you getting quirks like every other day? What do you mean? One day you just have 15 strength quirks, and that's a curiosity in itself. Then next you have the capability of punching 5 times the strength of All Might himself. Well, how is that even possible? I get all my quirks legally, and let's just say, yeah. And Immortal laughs in the background, and Izo says, "Why are you laughing at the problem, child?" I do not understand how, but he's flat out stupidly similar to Wajashi. Like, oh my god. How old is this Hajashi? As old as me. And he has a kid now. Uh-huh. And Sawa blinks once, twice, thrice, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, and says, "Isn't there like an age limit on how?" With people with immortality quirks, or quirks that make it so we live long as fuck, we tend to have a rule of 27 or older. And she was over the age of 27, and when Izuku was born. Okay. Okay then. And Izuku gets asked a lot of questions about his quirks, and Kaminari says, "Do you have a electricity quirk?" I don't, not yet. I do have a graphite manipulation, shin healing, a few two healing quirks, dimensional pocket quirk, and a few others. What's dimensional pocket? It's a bit of a mouthful, but it allows me to store or up to 75 pounds in one pocket, and I can have up to without any strain in to my knowledge 100, but I haven't tested it really yet. Interesting. Izuku, and he hears Shinso say, "What about those 2 quirks you got before school? Freeze, Ease, and Burning Glare." Those quirks were sibling quirks, where I got permission from the family to get their quirks. And everyone mellows out for a second, because that's disturbed to think about. And Sato says, "Isn't it immoral to steal from the dead?" And Bakugo says, "He's a fucking quirk stealer." And Uraraka says, "He's getting these consensually." And Shinso says, At least he doesn't cause property damage. As much property damage, Bakugo. You and the Kaminari says, yeah. And Kirishima says, "At least you got a cool quirk. Mine's just hardening of skin." Izuku says, "Your quirk is cool, useful, and pretty dang strong. Because I presume that quirk was kind of low in the beginning. Yeah, it was barely even stronger than Pebbles back when I got it. You got it to a decent thing. And one thing about my quirk that makes it kind of hard is the fact that most of them are, it depends, but most of them, unless they're from my dad, I have to work from step 1, and I already have more than 10 quirks, so it's pretty hard learning how to use a quirk to a decent extent, and when I have more quirks. That is also one downside. And Kaminari says, out of you, Todoroki and Bakugo, I think we have a very powerful class, and pretty decent heroes. Mina says, besides Bakugo, he's angry all the time. And Kaminari says, we've only known each other for a decent bit, and we know Bakugo's personality is a dumpster fire. And Bakugo says, "Oh, you." Ooh. And And about 20 minutes later, they reach the USJ, and and Mortal and Aizawa see the fact that All Might is not there. And Immortal says, "Where's the big oaf?" "I don't know." And 13 goes to them, and Immortal says, "Where's the big oaf?" He went past his 3-hour limit." Oh, fucking course. Fucking course. Anyway, I think we're good with 3 pros here anyway. And Uraraka goes apeshit when she sees he's her favorite hero 13 and goes mumbling up a storm like Izuku. Goo. And 13 says, we're now at the USJ facility, or the United Joint Training. No. We're at the USJ to learn how to do rescue training. Now, nowadays, thanks to the fact of the regulation of quirks, we have the feeling that many of them are not dangerous, but they can't and very much be. For example, I have used my quirk to save lots of people, but I also can use it to kill very easily. Think about how your quirks can work against another human being. And how it can affect them. Even though many people think that quirks can be mostly harmless, there are quirks that can flat out kill thousands in a second. And that is part 16, part 1 of USJ.